Beef. It's what's for dinner. Hi, I'm Jason Davis with What's Up Sioux Falls. I'm down here at Falls Park at the 1880s barn. And just north of where I'm standing at one point in time was the largest stockyards in the nation. In fact, in 1981, over 2 million head of cattle were processed at these stockyards. We're going to talk to a guy who knows pretty much everything there is to know about the stockyards. Come on. And the man, of course, that we are referring to is none other than Jim WOSTER. Jim, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us today.
I'm glad to be here in my favorite spot, Ag Experience barns.
Absolutely. Okay, there's so much to talk about here today, Jim, but first, I want to start out. You had a lot of different titles in your time with the stockyards. Tell us what those were.
Oh, in the 44 years I was here, I worked for the Stockyards Company. I bought cattle for a packing house for 7 years, 13 years, reported the markets on radio and television. The last 24, I was co-owner of Olson Frankman Livestock, a marketing agency at the Stockyards.
The stockyards opened in 1917?
You got it, you're right on. Yeah, shortly after John Morrell and Company, now Smithfield Foods, when they opened in 1913 or 14, shortly after that, some guys from Sioux City came up and said, let's start a market. And they did in 1917. The Sioux Falls Stockyards officially became a central public market.
There was a time, late 70s, early 80s, that it was the largest stockyards in the nation, correct?
Largest market in the United States, in fact, in the whole world, but obviously the United States. And started that in 1976, and we went, well, basically until we closed in 2009. We were the #1 market in the country.
Tell us a little bit about what the stockyards meant to this community.
Well, so many people brought their own livestock with their trucks and their trailers and stuff, and seldom did a farm couple or a farm person come to town, unload, that they didn't purchase something in Sioux Falls. They'd come to me in the cattle alley and say, Jim, can I borrow your car? They don't want to take the truck uptown. Sure, go ahead. And they'd run uptown and buy something. They'd go around to the mall and buy something. It was just interesting, and I'd say, and you'd hear the same thing from the guys across the street at John Morrell. The buyers would say, had to loan my car to Bill. He wanted to run out, but we considered ourselves a wing of the Sioux Falls Chamber of Commerce. You know, to show you how special this place was to me and people like me, on a Sunday morning, the week before we closed, I got in the car and I said to my wife, I'm driving down here. She said, what for? And I said, I don't know. I drove down, I was the only one here. I'm standing up on the crosswalk looking over the dirt and the bare boards and stuff. All of a sudden, the stairs start coming. And I thought, boy, Jim, this was a special place.
Yeah, it was an end of an era.
Yep, end of an era, yeah.
Sioux Falls has not forgotten about the stockyards. Not only here, starting with the barn here, there is a huge future here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Abby's going to be better as far as the total plan, as they do with Falls Park. But you're right. I just want to comment on that. When we decided that the market was closed, we don't want to lose the memories, et cetera, and we started talking about something to memorialize this place down here. This city stepped in with this facility here, with some of the remodeling, business people helped with checks, and I mean, because they all understood that this complex down here, the Sioux Falls Stockyards, John Morrell, was where it kind of all started. And they were good enough to support us, and still are. And I think we're going to see something really, really special when we take the next step and move into a plaza.
Jim, thank you so much for the time. Thank you
pleasure.
for the information. It's super exciting, and we're going to have a little chat with Abby now.
You're going to like that. Thank you.
I'm now in the lower level of the 1880s barn, and I am joined by Executive Director of the Stockyards Ag Experience, Abby Bischoff. Abby, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, so Abby, tell us a little bit about the future of the Stockyards Ag Experience that's coming up here in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, we're so excited. We just announced a couple months ago that we are pivoting to a different name with our outdoor expansion. And so moving forward, our outdoor plaza will be known as the WOSTER Plaza. We'll have some traditional play structures like slides and climbing things, but they'll all have an agricultural tie or a twist to them. We'll be able to bring livestock down on a case-by-case basis to have some, more in-depth opportunities for kids to see a cow up close. There's a lot of kids that maybe don't get that experience anymore. And so we want to be able to provide some of that stuff so kids and families have a healthy relationship with where their food comes from.
What does Jim WOSTER mean to this community?
he's done so much for so many different communities of people. We're so thrilled that we're able to, really tie his name to the future of agriculture, just like he's been an incredible part of the past and the current state of agriculture in South Dakota.
Tell us a little bit briefly about the downstairs area here.
So this lower level is really that modern farm-to-table experience. So we really feel like our upstairs talks about that history and kind of wraps that up in a really great way. And so this lower level is really that future. And if you want to learn more about us, our mission, we've got some great information on our website as well. Visit stockyardsagexperience.org, or you can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Abby Bischoff, thank you again for taking a few minutes with us. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to the What's Up Sioux Falls YouTube channel.